The Chinese Communist Party has always pursued the concept of conquering and transforming nature. Although the official slogan of "man can conquer nature" is no longer mentioned, the pace of constructing mega water conservancy projects has never stopped. These mega projects not only require enormous financial resources, but also damage the natural environment, even triggering disasters. At the same time, they are a tremendous waste of social resources. In January of this year, Wang Daoxi, the Deputy Minister of China's Ministry of Water Resources, stated in a press conference that the investment in water conservancy construction nationwide reached 1.1 trillion yuan, or around $150.4 billion in 2022, a year-on-year increase of 44%. On April 16th, Wang Daoxi stated, "In the first quarter of 2023, the national investment in water conservancy construction reached $26.2 billion, an increase of 76.2% compared to the same period last year. In the first quarter, a total of 7,239 new water conservancy projects were initiated nationwide, almost 2,000 more than the same period last year." Economist Davy Jun Huang has stated that approximately 30 to 35% of China's GDP growth comes from infrastructure investment. Infrastructure investment can be divided into two main categories: private real estate construction and large-scale infrastructure projects, which account for about 15% of the total GDP. Recently, due to factors such as epidemic prevention and control, the trade war between China and the US, economic tension with Europe, and the decline in consumption in European and American markets, China's economic growth has weakened. So, to stimulate economic growth, the Chinese government has increased investment in infrastructure. The water conservancy projects constructed by the CCP government include water diversion projects, hydropower projects, flood control and irrigation projects, and waterway improvement, etc. We have compiled a list of the 5 most representative water diversion projects constructed by the CCP government in recent years to share with the audience. Number 1. The South-North Water Diversion Project. The South-to-North Water Diversion Project, referred to as SM Project hereafter, is considered one of the largest mega projects in human history. The project consists of 3 water diversion routes: the eastern route, the central route, and the western route, spanning the Yangtze River, Huai River, Yellow River, and Hai River basins. The total investment is expected to exceed 500 billion Chinese yuan, or $69.2 billion. According to the overall plan of the South to North Water Diversion Project released on the website of the Chinese central government, the total water diversion volume for the 3 routes is projected to reach 44.8 billion cubic meters per year by 2050. This includes 14.8 billion cubic meters for the eastern route, 13 billion cubic meters for the central route, and 17 billion cubic meters for the western route. The entire project will be implemented in stages based on actual conditions. According to official information, construction of the SM project began in December 2002, and in December 2014, the first phase of the eastern and central routes was completed and water began flowing through the entire length. The western route project is currently still in the preliminary geological survey stage. The eastern route project diverts water from the main stream of the Yangtze River near Yangzhou City downstream. Through a series of pump stations along the route, the water is progressively pumped northward and transported via the Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal and parallel river channels. After entering Dongping Lake in Shandong Province through the pump stations, the water is divided into 2 routes. One crosses the Yellow River and flows naturally to Tianjin, while the other supplies water to the Jiaodong region in the east. The water level in Dongping Lake is approximately 40 meters higher than that of the Yangtze River. There are 13 cascading pumping stations from the Yangtze River to Dongping Lake, with a total lift of 65 meters. The designed average annual water diversion capacity from the Yangtze River for the first phase of the project is 8.8 billion cubic meters. The main line for water transmission from the Yangtze River to Tianjin's Beidagang Reservoir is approximately 1,156 kilometers in length. The water diversion channel from Dongping Lake to the Jiaodong region has a total of 701 kilometers. The Central Route project diverts water from the Danjiangkou Reservoir, located upstream of the Han River, the largest tributary of the Yangtze River, to Beijing. From the eastern bank of the Danjiangkou Reservoir, a main canal is excavated within Sichuan County, Henan Province. It passes through the watershed between the Yangtze River Basin and the Huai River Basin at Fangcheng Pass, and extends northward along the west edge of the North China Plain. The canal then crosses the Yellow River through a tunnel and runs northward along the western side of the Beijing-Guangzhou Railway. Dedicated water diversion facilities were constructed, including open canals, tunnels, overpasses, etc., utilizing the gravity flow method to supply water along the way, ultimately reaching Beijing and Tianjin. The total length of the main line for the Central Route is around 1,400 kilometers. The designed average annual water diversion capacity for the first phase of the Central Route project is 9.5 billion cubic meters. The Western Route project diverts water from the upper reaches of the Jinsha River, a tributary of the Yangtze River. It then connects with the Yalong River and Dadu River. After crossing the watershed between the Yellow River and the Yangtze River, a tunnel is constructed to divert water into the Yellow River. Utilizing the Yellow River waterway, approximately 17 billion cubic meters of water are transported to the northern regions each year. Industry experts estimate that the total investment for the Western Route project could be as high as $276.1 billion. According to official media reports, as of June 15th this year, the cumulative water diversion from the first phase of the SN Eastern and Central routes to the northern regions has reached 62 billion cubic meters. The average annual water diversion volume is approximately 7.3 billion cubic meters, which is about 40% of the designed water diversion volume. Specifically, the first phase of the Eastern Route supplies approximately 8% of the designed water diversion capacity, while the first phase of the Central Route supplies approximately 73%. By the end of May 2016, the Ministry of Water Resources had allocated a cumulative investment of $36.2 billion for the first phase of the SN Eastern and Central routes. According to estimates by water conservancy expert Wang Weiluo, the evaporation and leakage losses of the Eastern Route account for 14.4% to 16% of the planned water diversion volume. For the Central Route, it accounts for 11.5%. According to the Regulations on Water Supply and Management of the South-North Water Diversion Project, protective zones should be established on both sides of the water diversion routes. For open channel water diversion projects, the protective zone extends 100 to 200 meters beyond the boundary of the management area. For pump stations, water gates, management stations, water intake points, and other engineering facilities, the protective zone extends 50 to 200 meters beyond the boundary of the management area. This has resulted in significant waste of land. From an aerial perspective, one can witness the magnificent sight of the clear water flowing north in the SN project. According to Wang Weiluo's analysis, if the true purpose of the Central Route project is to supply water to Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, and Henan, then a closed underground pressure pipeline should be used for water transfer. This would avoid the 11.5% water loss and increase water transfer capacity, ensuring water quality and safety. The decision to use an open-channel water diversion system for the SN Central Route project is aimed at showcasing the grandeur of the project and paying tribute to its visionary decision-makers. However, this visual effect comes at a cost of billions of yuan annually. Wang Weiluo also pointed out that the SN Central Route project has cut off nearly 800 rivers into 4 major basins, resulting in the permanent disappearance of these rivers. Number 2. The Yangtze River to Huaihe River Water Diversion Project. The Yangtze River to Huaihe River Diversion Project, or the YH project, is the largest interbasin and interregional water resources allocation project in China, after the South to North Water Diversion Project. The project connects the Yangtze River, Chaohu Lake, and the Huaihe River with a total water diversion route length of 723 kilometers. The project's water supply area covers 55 counties, cities, and districts in Anhui and Henan Province, with a total area of 70,000 square kilometers. By 2030, it is projected to divert 3.3 billion cubic meters of water from the Yangtze River and transfer 2.1 billion cubic meters of water into the Huaihe River annually, with the potential for future expansion to 4.3 billion cubic meters per year. The total investment in the project reaches $12.6 billion. The YH project commenced construction in December 2016, and the main project was put into operation for water transfer and navigation on December 30th, 2022. On the same day, the construction of supporting water transfer and supply projects started. The project consists of three major components: the Yangtze River Chaohu Lake diversion, the connection of the Yangtze River and the Huaihe River, and the northward water transmission. The first part involves diverting water from the Yangtze River to Chaohu Lake, and then supplying water from the Chaohu Lake to the north regions. Chaohu Lake is one of the 5 largest freshwater lakes in China, located in the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. It has a length of 55 kilometers from east to west, 21 kilometers from north to south, and an average depth of 2.89 meters, an area of 780 square kilometers, and a volume of 2.1 billion cubic meters. For decades, Chaohu Lake has suffered from severe water pollution. Local residents often describe it as, when you smell the foul odor, it means you are only a few kilometers away from Chaohu Lake. According to official media reports, the water quality of Chaohu Lake has shown significant improvement this year. The overall water quality is classified as Class 4, with certain areas classified as Class 5 or inferior Class 5. The western half of the lake is characterized by eutrophication, while the eastern half experiences mild eutrophication. According to China's Surface Water Environmental Quality Standards, Class 4 is primarily applicable to industrial water use and recreational water areas that are not in direct contact with human bodies, while Class 5 is mainly for agricultural water use and general landscape water bodies. Inferior Class 5 indicates a significant loss of water functionality. In 2022, Chaohu Lake experienced accumulative algal blooms, covering an area of 1,203 square kilometers cumulatively. Back in 2006, before the implementation of the YH project, studies conducted by experts such as Cao Zhiguo and Wang Tianping revealed that the water intake area of the project was heavily affected by schistosomiasis, a parasitic disease. The snail that acts as an intermediate host of the disease was widely distributed, leading to severe infections in humans and livestock. The areas traversed by the project, including Wuwei County and Hexian County, were also heavily affected by the disease, with high infection rates among residents and the presence of infected cattle. Following the implementation of the project, there has been evidence of the spread of these snails into inland rivers. The conclusion of their research paper stated that the regions traversed by the YH project were heavily affected by schistosomiasis, and the implementation of the project could potentially lead to further outbreaks. Therefore, while the YH project transfers heavily polluted water to a vast area of 70,000 square kilometers along its route, it may also contribute to the widespread dissemination of the disease. Number 3. Central Yunnan Water Diversion Project. The Central Yunnan Water Diversion Project, referred to as CY hereafter, is a landmark project among the 172 major water resources projects for water saving and water supply, determined by the State Council of China. It is also one of the largest and most expensive water resources allocation projects in southwestern China, and one of the largest ongoing water diversion projects in the country. The project is designed to have an average annual water diversion of 3.4 billion cubic meters and a total investment of approximately $15.3 billion. It's implemented in 2 phases. The first phase of the project consists of 2 parts, the water source project and the water conveyance project. The water source project is located in Shigu Town, Yulong County. Water is taken from the Jinsha River, approximately 1.5 kilometers upstream from the Shigu town, and pumped to the main canal. The water conveyance project starts from Wangchengpo in Shigu town, Lijiang City, and passes through Lijiang City, Dali Prefecture, Chuxiong Prefecture, Kunming City, and Yuxi City, with its endpoint in Xinpo Bay Village, Honghe Prefecture. The first phase of the project has a total length of 755 kilometers for various types of structures. This includes a total length of 664.24 kilometers for the main canal of water conveyance, which consists of 58 main tunnel sections totaling 612 kilometers. There are also 120 construction support tunnels with a length of 91.2 kilometers. The second phase of the project includes supporting facilities located in 6 cities and prefectures: Lijiang, Dali, Chuxiong, Kunming, Yuxi, and Honghe. It involves the construction of a network connecting the diversion outlets gates to water treatment plants, irrigation areas, and lakes. The main components of the second phase include water conveyance, water lifting, and water storage projects. It encompasses 168 water conveyance lines with a total length of 1,769 kilometers, as well as a construction of 50 water lifting pumping stations and 1 new water storage reservoir. Currently, the project is still undergoing rapid construction, and its progress has been remarkably fast. According to official media reports, on June 1st of 2023, the Xilapu Tunnel section of the CY project in Yuxi, constructed by China Railway Tunnel Bureau, was successfully completed after 798 days, surpassing the contractual schedule by 321 days. On June 7th, the main tunnel section of the Haidong Tunnel, constructed by China Railway 5th Bureau, spanning from the downstream of tunnel number 4 to the upstream of tunnel number 5 with a total length of 3,007 meters, was completed ahead of schedule by a remarkable 415 days. The fact that the tunnel construction was completed several hundred days ahead of the contractual schedule signifies a significant achievement. But you intelligent viewers must understand the implications of this accomplishment. Number 4, the Yangtze River to replenish the Han River project, or the YRH project. The YRH project is a follow-up project to the South to North Water Diversion Central Route project, with a total investment of approximately $8 billion. The YRH project involves supplementing the Han River with water from the Yangtze River. The design of the project includes diverting water from a water intake facility 7.5 kilometers upstream of the Three Gorges Dam in the Three Gorges Reservoir area. The water is then transferred through a 194-kilometer-long tunnel to the outlet 5-kilometer downstream of the dam of the Danjiangkou Reservoir, which serves as the water source for the SN Central Route project. The tunnel has an equivalent diameter of 10.2 meters and a water flow capacity of 170 to 212 cubic meters per second. The inlet of the tunnel is located at an elevation of 127 meters, while the outlet is at an elevation of 73 meters. The water flows naturally into the Han River, providing a supplemental water volume of 3.9 billion cubic meters per year. The SN Central Route project began supplying water to the northern regions on December 12, 2014, with an annual average actual water transfer volume of approximately 6.9 billion cubic meters. However, the Han River has an average annual runoff of only 24.7 billion cubic meters, which means that 28% of its water is being diverted to the north. The Environmental Impact Assessment Report of the Yangtze River Water to Replenish the Han River project states that several tributaries of the Han River in the middle and lower reaches, such as Tangbai River, Qing River, Man River, Li River, and Zhupi River, are severely polluted with significant amounts of wastewater discharge. The water quality of these rivers is typically classified as Class 5 or Inferior Class 5, the poorest water quality category in mainland China, which greatly affects the water quality of the mainstream of the Han River. The cascade development of the river system has further exacerbated eutrophication in certain sections due to the significant reduction in water flow velocity. With the implementation of the SN Central Route project, the water scarcity in the Han River has worsened. In addition, there is the Han River to supplement the Wei River project, or HSW project, with a total investment of $2.8 billion. It aims to divert 1.5 billion cubic meters of water annually from the mainstream of the Han River and its tributary, the Ziwu River, located approximately 500 kilometers upstream of the Danjiangkou Reservoir, to the Guangzhong Plain in Shanxi Province. On June 17, 2023, it was reported that the water diversion phase of the HSW project passed the acceptance inspection, indicating that the project had met the conditions for water transfer. To address issues such as reduced water volume, deteriorating water quality, and declining groundwater levels in the middle and lower reaches of the Han River, the Chinese Communist authorities have undertaken the construction of the YRH project. Currently, the project is under intensive construction. Number 5. Guangdong Water Resources Allocation Project around Beibu Gulf, or GWA project in short. The GWA project is one of China's national backbone water projects and one of the 150 major water conservancy projects. It is the largest cross-basin water diversion project in terms of water transfer volume, pipeline length, construction complexity, and total investment in the history of Guangdong Province. The project aims to supply an average annual water volume of 2.1 billion cubic meters and consists of one main pipeline and 3 branch pipelines. The project starts from Yun'an County in Yunfu City, Guangdong Province, and extends to Dahu Bridge Reservoir in Xuchuan County, Zhanjiang City. It spans 4 cities, Yunfu, Yangjiang, Maoming, and Zhanjiang. The total length of the water pipeline is 490 kilometers, and the project has a total investment of $8.5 billion and a construction period of 96 months. It is reported that up to now, there have been 48 construction sites along the route of the GWA project around the Northern Bay. A total of 43 participating units, including those responsible for engineering design, supervision, construction, pipe production, and testing, have fully commenced their work. Approximately 3,000 people and over 460 large-scale mechanical equipment have been mobilized for construction operations, and the construction of the entire project is progressing vigorously. Furthermore, the Chinese government has undertaken numerous water diversion projects, both large and small, including the Huai River Estuary Waterway Project. The first phase of the project has a total length of 163.5 kilometers, with a river channel width of 750 meters and a depth of approximately 4.5 meters. The total investment was $568 million. Construction began in January 1999, and the project was fully completed and accepted in October 2006. The second phase of the Huai River Estuary Waterway Project officially started construction on July 30th last year, and has a total investment of $6.1 billion. It has been listed as one of the 55 key water conservancy projects promoted by the State Council. In May 2023, the Communist Party of China Central Committee and the State Council issued the Outline of National Water Network Construction Plan, proposing to accelerate the construction of a so-called systematically complete, safe and reliable, intensive and efficient, green and intelligent, circular and smooth, and well-regulated national water network. It also set the goal of establishing the overall framework of the national water network by 2035, with the main backbone and major arteries gradually completed and the water networks at the provincial, municipal, and county levels basically improved. According to official media reports, on May 30th this year, construction commenced at the Jinnu Branch Tunnel construction site of the Water Network Backbone Project in Dongfeng County, Jilin Province. The project has an estimated total investment of $9.2 billion, and is the first major backbone project of the National Water Network to begin construction after the release of the outline. Once completed, the project will deliver 1 billion cubic meters of high-quality water annually through a 530-kilometer tunnel and pipeline system to the water-scarce central and western regions of Jilin province. As a bureaucrat with technical backgrounds, Li Guoying, the minister of China's Ministry of Water Resources, has a clear understanding of water diversion projects. In July 2021, he published a signed article titled Promoting the High-Quality Development of the Follow-Up Projects of the South to North Water Diversion in the People's Daily. In the article, he wrote, "We must adhere to and implement the priority policy of water conservation. From various aspects such as concepts, awareness, and measures, we should give priority to water conservation and regard it as a fundamental solution for water-receiving areas, and carry out long-term and in-depth work on water conservation." His meaning is expressed very clearly, stating that the SN Water Diversion Project cannot solve the water scarcity problem in the northern regions, and the fundamental solution lies in water conservation. Professor Yaolin Wang from the University of Melbourne stated that China has undertaken over 100 water diversion projects in the past 5 years. He pointed out that the mega water projects implemented by the Chinese government not only involves massive investments and environmental destruction, but also pose the risk of water supply shortages in many southern regions, necessitating the construction of additional infrastructure to address the issue. Wang stated, "If China improves water use efficiency and reduces water consumption, it won't need to build so many mega water diversion projects." In addition to water diversion projects, the CCP government has also constructed a large number of reservoirs. According to statistics, since seizing power, the CCP has implemented reservoir construction on a massive scale using political movement patterns. Over 98,000 various types of reservoirs have been completed, with a total storage capacity of over 900 billion cubic meters. On September 30, 2021, Vice Minister of Water Resources Liu Weiping stated during a routine policy briefing of the State Council that by the end of 2025, all existing high-risk reservoirs would be reinforced and made safe. The total number of such reservoirs is approximately 19,400. Among them, there are about 80 large high-risk reservoirs with a storage capacity exceeding 100 million cubic meters, about 470 medium-sized high-risk reservoirs with capacity exceeding 10 million cubic meters, but less than 100 million, and about 18,800 small high-risk reservoirs with capacity exceeding 100,000 cubic meters. High-risk reservoirs account for about 1/5 of the total number of reservoirs. Why is the CCP so enthusiastic about constructing large-scale water conservancy projects? On the one hand, those in power can utilize these mega projects to showcase their achievements and even demonstrate their authority and legitimacy. For example, former CCP leader Mao Zedong, who did not believe in the divine, arrogantly declared himself the master of nature. On the other hand, officials in charge can exploit their positions to gain illicit benefits. Additionally, many influential families are involved in the construction of these large projects, colluding with officials to divert societal wealth into their own pockets. Furthermore, these large-scale projects require massive investments, depleting the national treasury. Moreover, many of these projects struggle to achieve their design goals after completion, resulting in significant waste of social resources.